Okay, so here we are. We're over in the studio, and we're going to we're going to expose the image onto the screen. And well, naturally, the first image we're going to use is our logo, and it's just a simple one color. So this really isn't going to be that in depth. Normally, you would probably, well, we have a template you could put on here. You can put different registration marks. I'm not going to do nearly that fancy. I'm pretty much just going to eyeball it up. But anyway, to explain how it works, basically, we have this unit here, and it has fluorescent tubes in it, 8 of them, about 240 watts of power. And they're a black light, but it puts off UV light. Well, the emulsion that we put on the screens earlier is UV light sensitive, and as soon as UV light hits these, it starts hardening the emulsion. And by using the design you're going to do, it blacks out the areas that you don't want to expose. And when we're done, everything will be hard except for all of this, and then that's when we'll go over to the garage and we'll wash it out with a pressure washer. And you should have a perfect design that looks just like this in the screen. Therefore, when you put the ink in there and you go across it, it goes right through the holes right where they should be. So the reason we can have light in here now and then it doesn't expose these are just a yellow coated light, a bug light. You've probably seen them, on people's porches. Basically, it masks the UV light and just gives you yellow light, so it works. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm using a 156 screen, which is a little bit more of a mesh than the 110. It says between 55 and 65 seconds of exposure. So in other words, we'll turn these lights on for that long with this image on there, and it should work. Normally we'd use a step wedge, but we lost that earlier today. But I'll just tell you, a step wedge is, it tells you that there's numbers on like a little strip, and it'll tell you basically the hardness that you're at when you're done. Really all it does is help you. If you mess it up, you know whether to go longer or shorter next time that you do your screen. But that's okay. We're just going to go ahead and go for it without it. So I'm going to start by putting our screen down here. Whoop, so I don't break something. And so this side here, this is the shirt side. It's the flat. This is the side that'll sit right down on the shirt, and then the inside is where the ink goes. So you want this image facing face down on the shirt side. And so, like I said, we're basically going to just eyeball it, I think, and see what I got here. I'm not really good at eyeballing things. Looking a little more lined up there. I'm using the finger measurement. It's pretty bad. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape this on, and then that way we can just turn it around. It'll stay right where it's at. Just regular Scotch tape is fine. What we'll do is we'll just do the corners carefully. And then once we get that, then we'll turn this over. A little bit dark in here. Okay, so we're flat. So you can see, I think you can see that. The image coming through like the way you would see it on the back of a shirt. And we don't want it too low because you want the image somewhat higher on the back. If it was on the front, you would definitely want it a lot higher. Like you see this shirt here, the image starts really low. Really high. So being this is the back, we bring it down about that much. That way it's where your shoulder blades are. So what's going to happen here is when this light comes through and exposes this, we don't want any light coming up through here and over the top of it. So what you have to do is you have to sandwich it down. The image, the screen, and the glass, they should all be just sandwiched tight as can be. We're going to use this piece of foam rubber here, or foam, I guess you'd call it. And this should block out all the light. We're going to put some weight on top, and that should give it a good sandwich. So, and it's got to fit right within the screen, which we've already pre-cut this one to work. I know that seems strange. Actually, a lot of these units come with a lid. This one, it had an option for the lid and we didn't get it. It was kind of a package deal. Probably will get it eventually. They have some units where it's a lid and then it has a vacuum tube and it has like a rubber top, and it will suck down onto the image and down into the screen and everything. Unfortunately, this unit doesn't have that option. We'll probably get the lid eventually, but for now, this actually works just fine. So I put the foam in there, and then we have a couple of pieces of wood here. Put that there. And the idea is that we want an even amount of pressure, and it needs to be about 50 pounds, which is quite a bit. So we've got a bucket. And I have a feeling it may be more than 50 pounds. But overall, I think it's going to work just fine. So by doing this, no light should be able to get up underneath anywhere or sneak its way around. It should just be direct. So we've set it for 65 seconds. I've already got it set here. And go ahead and click this and let it go, and we'll see what we come up with. So when this is done, we will take this directly over to the garage, and we have a pressure washer with a washout sink, and I'll video that also. And we'll basically blast out this image. And if we do it right, if it has the right amount of exposure time, it should come out, all the letters, just nice clear lines, no blurriness. The image, if there's any lines that are meant to go from dark to lighter to faded out, then it should do that. It should put that in the screen just like that. So, well, we'll see. I'm gonna give it a try here. Okay, so we're done now. 65 seconds. I'm gonna go ahead and remove it all, and we'll take it over to the garage. And we'll wash it out and see what we come up with. So, and it's funny because I was watching some videos the other day, and I guess they were saying that some people didn't realize is that you need to take this off before you wash it out. It seems pretty obvious, but I was amazed that I guess they get a lot of calls at some of these places that sell the emulsion. And they say, well, it didn't work. And then they walk them through it, and then they finally find out, well, I didn't know I was supposed to take that off. Yeah, you got to take this off. So we're going to take that off and head over to the garage. All right, here we go. So this is my wife, Samantha, my helper. Actually, I think she's a little more up on how this part of it goes than I am, but she's going to do a screen. I think it's a 110 screen, is it?
Yeah, we're going to do on a 110.
On a 110. So
we printed out our logo, which is just a simple one-color design, so we really don't need a bunch of registration. I'm just going to tape it onto our screen, which is coated in cryo coat. I'm just gonna eyeball it up here. Tape it down and expose it. So with cryo coat on the exposure unit that we have, it said about 55 to 65 seconds, and I lost the step wedge earlier today, which helps us calculate our exposure times. So we're kind of just gonna wing this one and see how well we do. So I have it taped on, and you want the image to, you want to be able to read the image through the screen. We're gonna need a lot of good contact. Positive contact. Anyway, so we're gonna put our foam in. That way it keeps all the light from getting through the screen. I'm gonna put some wood on there. Keep it nice and straight. And
this is the part where I'm gonna help, because we are expecting a little one, and she doesn't need to be lifting heavy things. And this is pretty heavy. Okay, there you go.
thank you.
You're welcome.
So we're just gonna kick it on, and it's set for 65 seconds.
So, if we were going to do a multicolor screen or something more intricate, how does that thing work? What is that, a template? Actually, here it is. They have a template.
A template, and it's got a couple Clayton sizes on it, and then it's got some registration marks and some center lines, and I can't keep a hold of it. Anyway, and if you're going to register a couple colors, more than one color, you can line everything up, and then you take a Sharpie and color in your registration marks, and then when you tape on your films, you'll have everything pretty much in line. And then of course, when you put it on your plate, and you'd line it up as well.
So that's going to be a future video, because we're just doing a simple one color, simple design. So
it's done. We can pull it off. I need your assistance.
Sure. Okay. There you go.
Thank you. So we pull it off and take it over to the washout bay and see what happens.
And if it doesn't go right, then we're going to have a do-over video.
Oh, and one last thing.
Yeah.
You want to take your film off the back when you wash it out. It's very important.
Yes. All right, we'll see you over there.